students, in the previous part we have studied about connective tissue, animal tissue, under the heading of connective tissue, that is, which was connecting the different parts of the body. Now in this part we will study two types of tissues, that is the muscular tissue and the nervous tissue. Muscular tissue binds the body, connects the different part of the body, brings the movement of the body. Like the muscular tissue consists of muscles, and muscles contract and relax. Muscles contract and relax. Now actually a muscle has cells of muscular tissue have protein, contractile protein, which contracts. Now the movement of any part of the body is caused due to two sets of muscles. When one muscle contracts, it brings the movement, and when the another opposite muscle contracts, it brings the body part to its normal condition. Suppose we have here the bicep muscle. When it contracts, it pulls it like this, and on this side there is the tricep muscle. When it contracts, it brings it down. So muscles bring about movement in the body. Now the muscular tissue is of three types. The first one is striated muscles. Striated muscles, also known as, that is the voluntary muscle, or that is a skeletal muscle. As the name given, it will be joined to our bones, bringing about the movement. Now striated, voluntary means they are directly connected, to central nervous system. Hence they are under control of our own will. Means we bring about movement according to our will. That is, when we think to bring about movement, it will work. Now the tissues in the muscular cells are, that is, they are cylindrical. The cells are multinucleated. Many nucleus will be present in it, multinucleated. So cells are cylindrical, multinucleated, and then we see there are alternate light and dark bands on it. As well as we see, we will see these structures in the diagram, as well as we see here, that is the membranous covering, membranous layer around it is called sarcolemma. So if we draw the diagram here, we see here, that is, suppose this is the cylindrical structure. Now there are many nuclei, and here suppose this is the dark band, then there is the light band in the middle. Here is the light band, here is the dark band, and again like this. So This is the alternate dark and light bands and so on. So this is about, now there will be the tissue, the nucleus, and here we see that around it there is the, this is sarcolemma. Sarcolemma. So the cells of striated muscle is the that is cells are, these are multinucleated and having membranous layer called sarcolemma. Now as we have studied that they help in movement of bones and body parts. So this is the striated muscle. Now the second part is unstriated muscle, that is also known as involuntary muscle. So this is the second part, that is unstriated muscles, also known as involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles. Now they are not under control of our own will, so they will not be able to move according to our will. So they are not under the control of our own will. So unstriated muscles are found in the internal part. They are found in internal part of the body. Internal part of the body, around visceral organs, in the wall of intestine, that is the gut, alimentary canal, urinary bladder, uterus, and so on. So these are two types of muscles, which one is helping in the movement and another is around the organs, forming cushion like structure. They are striped, not striped, they are, that is tapered. Now like you see here, this type of cell is present. Here it is the striated muscles. Clear, student? Now the third type of the muscular tissue is the cardiac tissue. They are only found in the heart. They are in the wall of the heart. That is, this is the specialized muscular tissue. Now there is a important point that structure wise it is similar to a striated muscle, but function wise it is unstriated muscle or involuntary muscle. Their muscles, or that is the in the wall of the heart, it produces its own stimulus and then it can contract. So structurally they are striated, but functionally like unstriated, functionally like unstriated or involuntary. That is, involuntary means it is not under control of our own will. Now, as well as we see, that is, they are branched muscles. Means if you will study its structure, then as we have studied, that is, there are structurally dark and light bands. Now further, suppose here is the dark and light bands, and there may be branching here. There may be branching, joining the different parts. So there may be branching also. So this is cardiac tissue. Now their cells, they work throughout the life without getting tired. Means their cells will never stop. If it will stop working, if it gets tired, in that case we will be permanently tired. Means it will cause death of the person. That is, the cells never perform anaerobic respiration. Muscle cells, in the deficiency of oxygen, limited supply of oxygen, sometimes respire anaerobically, producing lactic acid. It causes muscle fatigue, it gets tired, but since the cells of cardiac tissue never respire anaerobically, so it does not get tired, and hence it keeps on moving, it keeps on working throughout the life, helping in the function of the heart. Students, the next tissue is the nervous tissue. This is the fourth type of animal tissue, that is the nervous tissue. Now, it forms the nervous system of the animal. Nervous system helps in control and coordination. Means it controls the various organs of the body, their function, by receiving and sending impulses from them, and controlling them by providing message, as well as it coordinates between the functions of the body. As we know that we are complex organism. In our body, there are several organ systems performing their individual functions, but they are related with the function of another organ and organ systems. So there must be coordination between them. Like the lungs help in breathing, taking in oxygen, the blood transports it to the tissues, and in tissues respiration takes place, cellular respiration takes place, energy is produced, which is then used for different life processes, growth, development, activities, and so on. When the metabolic wastes are produced in the different parts, it is required to be excreted. So all these organs are required to be coordinated with each other. So it is the part of nervous system. Now we study here, a student, that the nerve cell, that is called neuron. Or we also write nerve cell, but technical word is neuron. Neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. Nervous system that includes brain, a spinal cord, and the nerves in our body. Now, nervous tissue or neuron, that is, they are long, long cells. Long cells, that is, we say that these are the longest cell in the body, long cells. And we see that they may extend from few to few feet. A single neuron may extend from 1 meter to 1.5 meter or so. One single neuron can extend from head to the toe also. Now, in animal cell, that is the neurons, they do not contain centrosome. That is, we say that is, it is the animal cell without centrosome. So they do not contain centrosome and hence do not take part in cell division. That is, the neurons are formed in our body during embryonic development inside the mother's womb, or that is when we are developing inside the mother's body, when our organs are formed, when brain is formed. At that time, the neurons are formed from the cells by tissue differentiation, and during lifetime their number do not change, hence we use the term inborn intelligence. Now, if we'll see its structure, then we see here that suppose this is the neuron. In this part, here is the structure. Like this. Now this is the elongated thread-like structure, fibrous structure which is elongated. Now further, now we see a student here again. There is the sometimes the directly question is asked to draw the diagram of the neuron or nervous tissue. We require to draw it. Now we see the main part, that is this structure is called cyton or perikaryon. Now cyton is the main part of the neuron which regulates the metabolism of the neuron. Now in this part, here is the nucleus. Now the cytoplasmic projections in this structure is called dendron. And then further, the terminal branching end is called dendrites. Now we see that dendrite is the receiving end, means dendrite receives a stimulus from the environment, and when this stimulus is sent to the cyton, here these are the granular structures called Nissl granule. Now this is Nissl granules. Now these are the structures which help in, that is, synthesis, generation of nerve impulse. Now one of the elongated thread-like structure of it is called axon or axon fiber. Now from a single cyton, many axons can arise, but in general one axon will arise. Now further we see here, that is, on its over the axon there is insulating layer of cell, that is called myelin sheath or medullary sheath, whereas the membranous covering over the myelin sheath is called neurolemma, or sometimes also termed as neurolemma, membranous layer over it. Now further we see, that is, the gapping in the myelin sheath, cells of myelin sheath is called node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. Actually, this is the structure that accelerates nerve impulse conduction, whereas the new myelin sheath provides insulation between nerve fibers within a nerve, axon fibers. That is, nerve is a bundle of axon fibers. So if there are many axon fibers like this we see, that is, suppose here is the axon fibers within a bundle, then each one is insulated from each other with the help of myelin sheath to prevent short circuiting between them. Now, these are axon terminals, and here is called synaptic bulb. The swollen end of axon terminal has synaptic bulb, which contains a neurotransmitter chemical substance which help in transmission of impulse from one neuron to the another neuron, that is acetylcholine. So just we see here a student, that is, this is the nervous tissue neuron which helps in receiving the stimulus, generating nerve impulse, and then transmitting it to the another part. Clear, student? So this is all about the animal tissue. Now you have studied plant tissue and animal tissue in detail. Now students, if you like our teaching, then like it, share it, and subscribe our channel to get the latest video by pressing the bell icon. Clear, student? Okay, thank you.